So you are getting started wholesaling real estate. You probably have a lot of questions. And you're probably asking yourself, like, what should I do? How do I get a wholesaling deal? Well, what market do I do? You know, do I do virtual wholesaling? Do I do in-person wholesaling? I just saw wholesaling's illegal. What do I do? I heard I'm going to get sued if I even open my computer and search wholesaling.
Or you go to jail.
What do I do? There's a new course. It says it's going to change everything. It says we don't have to even cold call anymore. All we have to do is just give somebody $10,000 and we get one lead.
Mm-hmm. That's about right.
Do I cold call? Do I text? What? Oh my gosh. Calm down. Chill. Guys, you're really overthinking this thing. I can tell you, as somebody that got started in wholesaling, I was very blessed to get started back in the good old days, 2016, 2017. I was 17 years old. It was really awesome because I was broke. There was no content really on wholesaling on the internet. And really, you could only do one or two things to get a deal. There were no wholesaling communities. There were no influencers telling you 50 different things. It was get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Cold calling really wasn't a thing. Texting really wasn't a thing. There was pretty much drawing for dollars, direct mail, bandit signs, and I guess a little bit of cold calling, but a lot of door knocking.
But
like, it was just old school, old tactics. And that's the cool part. I remember when I was 17, I went in your library and I looked at all these real estate books and I read all these strategies, right? All from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
And a lot of these books are here today. And I found out pretty much the only thing I could afford was just doing bandit signs. That's what I did, right? And I had the luxury of only having one option, which is pretty cool. Now we have all these different options and we don't know what to do. We're so stressed of how to get a deal and what should I do it. Guys, I promise you, if you just stop overthinking, like if you really stop overthinking things, you are going to be able to get more wholesaling deals than you can even handle by not overthinking. That is the key to success here in wholesaling. You got to remember, you in wholesaling, you're running a marathon, not a sprint. You always say, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yep.
But it's absolutely true. It is a marathon. So, how do you get better at running a marathon? What do? Do you carb load? Do you go read a book on how to run? No, you just run. Like, that's the shocking thing about, being good at running. You just run more. Yeah. How do you get better at a video game? Yeah, you could watch content on video games, but the vast majority, if I had to spend 1,000 hours running to get better at running or spend 1,000 hours watching running videos, who's going to be better?
Person that did it.
The person that did it.
You ever seen a video on how to learn how to ride a bike?
No,
never seen one. Never seen one. They don't exist. You imagine watching?
They're on YouTube.
They really do?
Everything's on YouTube.
How to ride a bike?
Yeah, you got to know at least kind of what.
Dude, if you got to watch a video on how to ride a bike, just get on the damn bike and figure it out. Yeah. Get someone who you trust. Give you. I don't know. I felt like that's like a parental obligation. Ride a bike.
But like, you just got to run, and you got to really think about it, right? You get better at running by running, not watching 1,000 hours of running content. So when you really want to think about wholesaling real estate and how you can get a bunch of money, how you can just really focus on what you have to do, we really just got to pack this business into 3 core fundamental things. Number 1, knowledge. That's the first thing you really need to get really good at wholesaling. Now, this is the thing everyone thinks you should spend the most time on. You should actually spend the least amount of time on this one. But knowledge is the most important part when it comes to kind of starting out. Now, you should not spend most of your time on knowledge, but you've got to know roughly what you should do, right? Should you cold call, text? Should you drive for dollars? Should you do on market? Like, got all these different strategies. You don't like it's really confusing. I get it. Honestly, all you need for knowledge, in my humble opinion, is you go to wholesale.com. Pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
And you just hang out on this YouTube channel. I really, truly believe the flip of their YouTube channel and freewholesaling.com is really all you need on a knowledge part. Now, we got our communities, we got that spell. Like, that's not knowledge, right? So freewholesaling.com, teach you everything you need to know about wholesaling, show you where to get deals. Like everyone knows that's the free wholesaling course, right?
Largest wholesaling community, right?
Yeah, largest wholesaling community.
Show me a bigger one.
There's not. And the thing about it is, channel, we go live, so we'll answer any of your burning questions. But really, to know how to do it is right there. The knowledge is there. Now, you just don't need knowledge. You need also a motivation or a drive to get started wholesaling. Now, here's the problem. I can make a video kind of jacking you up, getting you crazy excited about how to wholesale houses. I get you jacked up. I get you ready to go. Rick can get you motivated too. We can always do those heart-to-heart talks. We like doing them every month, once a month or something. Like we'll give you a real heart-to-heart talk to really light a fire in you. But I can start the spark or the flame, but like you need to be the one perpetually like burning that fire and that excitement for yourself. And the problem is most wholesalers, they try to go from motivation. Their motivation goes from watching video to video. And, I love David Goggins. I love the motivational Gary Vee stuff. But that is not going to get you really anywhere where you need to be. The motivation really has to come from you. And I can't teach you how to want it. Like I can't teach you to have that dog in you. You just have to have it. And the reason you're getting into this business is for a certain reason. Now, I personally believe if you're broke, it sucks being broke. And I truly believe that not being broke is enough motivation for anyone who has no money to start getting rich, right? And if you truly do it for your freedom and success for your loved ones and your family, you're going to have success. If you're somebody who has this motivation or drive to start wholesaling so you can get a Lamborghini Aventador, like that's about $250,000 car. And then boom, you get that. Where's the motivation after that, right? The motivation should be for something that you love more than anything else. And I'm telling you, retiring your mom is way better than trying to buy a car.
Lasts longer.
Yep. And it feels way better, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people mistake wholesaling as, I want to get rich. Here's the reality. When you're young, I know when I was young, I always wanted to be rich. The debate was, how do you do it? Yeah. And I tried a lot of things, but as you get older, and some of you pick it up when you're younger, if you got the right guidance, is, what is being rich? And to me, the ultimate definition of rich is just having freedom to do what you want, when you want, and have the means to do it.
Yeah.
Now, listen, you can get freedom of time, but if you don't have income, whatever, job, career, wholesaling, I don't know. I don't know how fun that is. Like, it's like,
yeah,
it's because we still have to get by in life. And if you want to have kids, you have to sustain them. You have to have a household. And listen, the reason I got on the wholesaling was I just wanted freedom of my time. That was my goal. I knew a long time ago, I chased money for 15 years before I found wholesaling. It sucked.
Oh yeah.
So when I found a vehicle that was absolutely 100% proven, and time after time for hundreds of years, people did it, and people recently did it, I knew it was the right vehicle. I had no idea how to do it or how I was going to navigate through it, and I had no money. But to me, to have the belief of a path that can actually get there, that you're 100% confident. You all know how day trading goes. I've never met a wildly successful person that just day trades every day. When we do currency trading, it's the same thing. It's just a different product. And we all went through the FBO type of deal, and we all know about the high-end coaching type of deal. It's just, guys, you're going to have to go out there and do the work. So many people want to coach and teach this business before they actually put in the grind. Guys, 7 years, I didn't look at anybody, and I didn't even feel like I really made it.
True.
And now I got people 2 and 3 months with courses out there everywhere. And like, to me, I get it. If you do that, you're just chasing money. If you truly want to be rich, and you define what rich is: freedom to do what you want and have the means to do anything you want, take care of anybody in your family. And that is true gift. We could all do what we want, let's face it, but I don't want to live homeless on the street either. I like some of my creature comforts, as you guys do. And why not retire your mom? Do you guys really think that's unrealistic? Like, be brutally honest about it. Like, I came home from, we were broke. I was a broke a majority of life. I just decided to make a change when I was 33 back in 2003. That changed the trajectory. Now, time only tells what Zach would have done if I didn't do wholesaling. It'd be a very interesting experiment. But it just goes to show you, if you guys can lead and show people that you can make a difference, then people will follow you. But
yeah,
I believe we're in an industry where too many people talk about it and very few people actually do it anymore. And you've got to be that difference maker. Here's no difference. Here's the best part is we give you all the information, all these communities, everything. We give you the drive. We give you the ambition. But at the end of the day, you got to go do the work. And if you'll do the work and you'll put in that short-term pain to get that long-term gain, it's phenomenal. But we're in a society where everybody wants to take a pill. Everybody wants to get surgery to fix something. We have to endure. So define what your rich is. And if wholesaling applies to it, then go all in and just do it. Stop getting distracted with, I heard this is illegal and that. It's guys, been spewed to me since 2003. I just, it's not that I ignore it. I read the laws. I get legal advice if I have to, and I move forward confidently. But if you're just going to take like news spiffs, understand there's people out there who are going to try to instruct you that might only have 4 or 5 deals under their belt. That's crazy. 23 years. And honestly, I didn't really even talk to other people about wholesaling until about 10, 12 years into it. So that's how you lead by example. But like, imagine if I'm not going to use names because it gets a problem, but most people that forge your business, they go in hard. Like Zach, how many years you been doing this business?
8.
And he's 25. It's like mind blowing. Like I didn't start till I was 33. Doesn't matter how old you are or what you do. I'm telling you, wholesaling is a phenomenal path. I've proven it time and time again, but you have to take action. Picture yourself 20 plus years from now. Are your kids going to have the same opportunities you did? Here's the secret. You have to forge it. You have to show them. You don't make your kids do it. You show them. And if you do that, anything is possible in life. You can be as rich as you want. And rich is about being surrounded the people that care the most about you and have the means to take care of them and do what you want.
I agree. I used to say this, and it was kind of cringy when I used to say this, and I don't believe it anymore. But like, how could you have a mom that's working full time and you're not rich like that? Like the way my brain works is like you need to go all, like you got to do everything it possibly takes. But like some people just don't know how to become successful. That's okay, right? Like obviously you had kids and a mom that wasn't retired when you got into wholesaling, right? So it's like it's different, right? But I kind of shifted that framework in my mind to, how do you have kids and a mom that's working full time and wholesaling's the path and you still find excuses? That's my new framework of what should be embarrassing. So I don't shame anyone for working a full-time job and being broke and having kids. Like, you're still taking care of the kids. They're not homeless. You're doing great. But where the real shame should be is if wholesaling is a viable path and you're doing it, but then you go tell yourself something to stop you from staying on the path to change your family's life. And I'm going to ask you this, and this is a legitimate question, but have you ever seen somebody in wholesaling give it their all and become rich? Okay, yeah,
sure.
Yeah, duh, right?
Obviously.
Okay.
Almost like a trick question.
Here's the real trick question. Have you ever seen somebody in wholesaling give it their all? Like all. I mean all. No fun, no playtime, no, like they give it their all, like everything they possibly have, and they didn't get rich. I don't know one person.
No,
I don't know. Like, I don't know one person in the wholesaling space that they gave it their all, like everything. They never quit. They never gave up. They would put 4 years in the business just to keep going, and they didn't become a millionaire. There's not one person, I don't think Kobe Bryant said that. I think somebody else said it, but like, I've never seen, it's true though. I've never seen somebody give it their all in wholesaling and didn't achieve success. Not one. And so the thing is, why are you not successful? Well, automatically it only means one thing. You have not given it your all. And I get people all the time, Zach, I've given it my all and I'm not successful. I do that. Everyone loves it on the Discord calls because you get people who like they're from like Instagram or TikTok, so they don't hear me on YouTube. They don't know my game I play. But I'm like, oh, This is great. Okay, just pop up your screen time on your phone, and then always do this. What? I don't screen time on my phone. Oh, really? Is there a new iOS update? Well, wait, I found it. Okay, what does screen time say? It says 7 hours. You spend 7 hours on your phone. And one guy, shall not be named. You know what was 5 hours on his phone for the day?
Tell me.
Safari. I won't get into the weeds on that. But basically, homeboy spend 5 hours a day on Google. I don't know what that is. But one thing I can tell you is, bro, you're spending 7 hours a day on your phone. Like, I'll be honest with you. Unless your screen time says phone, like the little phone emoji for calling, 7 hours because you're dialing.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. And you cannot tell me you give it your all when you have 4 hours a day on TikTok. If you have 4 hours a day on TikTok, I know you're not giving it your all. And so I stand on business when I tell you that there's not one man or woman in wholesaling real estate space that gave their all in this business that did not become rich or successful. And here's the problem. I still get this to the day. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? Focus! Focus is a very, very hard commodity to go by in wholesaling now. Because if you just focus on the task and get it, you get to go. And the one example I always tell everyone rolls their eyes because it's the stupidest thing. So everyone used to say, hey, Kobe, how did you become so successful? You know what he says? It's so stupid. I just work hard, man. And everyone thinks like, yeah, he's in the gym a couple hours. Okay. Then one person did this. You know what they did? Kobe, tell us exactly what you did. He said, oh, you want to know what I did? Okay. When I was a teenager and a little kid, I spent 6 hours a day training for basketball. How many days? For about 6 days a week, I spent 6 hours a day training for basketball. And that's all I did. So think about it. He treated basketball as a 9 to 5. Like he woke up in the morning, 6 hours, physically dribbling and training and shooting for 6. I don't know anybody who does that. That's insanity. 3 hours at most, and you're nuts. And they do that like 2 or 3 times a week, right? Maybe 5. Can you imagine doing that? 6 hours a day, 6 days straight. And here's the thing about Kobe that I love the most about him. Everyone knows about compound interest, right? He did that since he was like 6. So the time he was 18 years old, he had 12 hours of that. Guys, I hope you know, it's the same thing with me. I've been doing this since 16. If you could start wholesaling at 24, I'm already 8 years ahead of you, working 15-hour days. If you work 24 hours for 5 years, you still couldn't catch up to me. That's how much I've been overlapping you guys. And so everyone wonder why was Zach overnight success? Because I put 15-hour days in this business. And you don't need to do that. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'll be honest. You don't need that. But like you're gonna have to work hard. And if you do not have this drive to just go when you don't want to go, you're done. You got no chance of success. So your motivation, your drive should be there. I truly believe in my heart, if you have kids, motivation should already be at $1 million. I don't even have any kids yet, but like I just know that I always say this, the worst day in the wholesaling industry is going to be when I have my first kid, because the motivation probably double. Like I'll be honest with you, I'm a multimillionaire how many times over, and I make millions of dollars a year. Like, do I need any more motivation? Like, I'll be honest with you, do I need any more motivation to maybe double my income by next year? When you make millions of dollars, I don't really need it. I'll be honest, I don't really what's going to motivate me to 5x my business if I'm making millions and millions and millions of dollars? Like honestly, what do I want an extra 5,000 square feet in my house? Like, is that really going to give me happiness? But I have a feeling, once I have kids, I'm just going to go crazy. Like, I'm going to show them what it means to go nuts. And so motivation drive needs to be there. And if you do not have any motivation, I don't know what to tell you. Like that is like prerequisite number 1. And so this motivation comes within you, not from me. I can't be your source of motivation. Rick can't be your source of motivation. You have to have a source of motivation. I don't care if you just don't want to be broke anymore. That's an amazing source of motivation. Guys, the greatest source of human beings surviving is so we don't die. That has always been how the human race has evolved over the years, is we just don't want to die. So back in the 1600s, if you got a little cut, you're done. You live to 30 years old, right? 15 years old was middle age back in the day.
Yep.
And so the motivation so our loved ones could live longer, helps us out. And the motivation of just, doing better should be all we should have. Now, the third thing that you need for success in wholesaling is just action. And this is where you should always spend your most time doing. And this is the problem I see most wholesalers have, is this is where they spend the least amount of time and they focus the least amount on this. This is what's action? Action is just pure number. You just got to put up numbers. I don't know what else I could tell you. So we think about Kobe Bryant, right?
Mm-hmm.
His motivation didn't matter. His knowledge of basketball is good, but he has quantifiable action. 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for decades, And the thing about cold calling is just it's texting. It's trying for dollars. Put up numbers. How do I increase my chance of success? It's pretty linear. The more drawing for dollars leads you call, usually the more money you make. The more probates you go send letters to, usually the more money you make. Every part of wholesaling, I see this, right? You send more direct mail out, usually you get more leads. This business is really simple. It's not complicated.
It's like batting practice. Look at any of you guys played baseball. I did. I was terrible at it. You could tell who spent time in the batting cage and who didn't. And keep in mind, a good batting average. Listen, when you're younger, the number that you can have kids in the high 3s, 400s. That's still, you're going to fail more. You're going to strike out more times.
No, I don't like that example. You know why?
Why?
I know friends that since 5 years old, they were at the batting cages practicing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're 18 years old, right? They're about to go to college. And some 14-year-old kid from the Dominican Republic who's been playing baseball half their time just comes in and just starts destroying them.
Wow.
So no, here's about sports. There's just people who are the best athletes in the world.
They're gifted.
It doesn't matter how hard you try. Sometimes just some kids are just going to destroy you. I don't know why, kids from the Dominican Republic for baseball, I have no idea why. They are insane. This one Cuban guy, Chapman, I think, he throws 105 mile per hour fast. I don't care how much training you do. I think it's Jorge Chapman. I know it's Chapman's last name. I don't care how much you train on baseball. You're not throwing 105 mile per hour fastball.
I'm not, but I'm talking about batting. You've got to see every type of pitch. You've got to try every variation. True. And honestly, you got to get some direction because you can't see your own mistakes, which is a lot of you guys is you don't see your mistakes. And I'm just telling you, you have to have such an obsession to get a deal. Your obsession is what drives the numbers. And most people who fail in wholesaling is they just don't have the expectations set. If I could fix one thing on everybody, it's set your expectations.
Yes.
What do you really think is going to happen when you cold call? Let's be brutally honest. Did you think 300 people are going to sign up out of the 500 you called? No. Just get one to talk to you. It's a numbers game. It's going to be thousands, tens of thousands. But your expectations based on your previous life goes, well, I should be closing at least a third or half of them. No, nobody's ever said it. And I think a lot of times you guys bring over your past experiences in the wholesaling and you want to know why your expectations are so disappointing. Meaning, here's the expectation and here's where you are. Here's the difference. When you're this far apart, you just got to find a way to come up here. But when you go, I'm going to quit. I don't want to go up there. That's too much work. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to your old job? You're going to keep doing that? You know it's not going to get you anywhere. So most people fail from wholesaling is they're not wildly obsessed in getting deals. I used to think about it 24/7 when I was trying to, my first 3 months, It was embarrassing, but it served a purpose. I had so much more failures than successes. And as long as you stay in wholesaling, you learn from your failures. You see, you go through school, if you get an F, it's the worst thing in the world. Everybody makes fun of you. The teacher parades it around. Your parents got to sign off on it. I'm telling you, you need to fail. I need to give a bunch of you an Fs, and you just got to work your way up. You got to get a D minus. Yeah. And then you got to get a D. But you guys want to go from F, not even admit your F, and go to A plus. And I just, like, I went through that. I'm not going to say the word. I went through that S storm. I'm just telling you, everybody goes, I've never met anybody who hasn't gone through it. And if you haven't gone through it, it means you're not willing to go through the fight. Listen, we all have bad days. The question is, there'll be another day tomorrow. You have to take the same actions. Even if they failed today, you got to do the same thing tomorrow. And you got to keep going. You have to become wildly obsessed. You have to push the numbers in your favor. Keep going. Wholesaling is not given to you. It is the one business that you have to earn it, and you have to earn it proudly. And one of my favorite things to do with my son is to show you guys the light when you succeed. We have helped out so many people get through the storm of like, how much do I have to pay to show you how to do this? I go, how about I just show you how to do it and you go do the work and show me that you're committed to do this. And I tell you, when I can help people get their first deal and show them around the corner, I was lucky enough to do it with my son. I've done it with a ton of people here in South Florida. And one of my favorite things is when he convinced me to do this is help people do it all over the country. My problem is I had ADHD. I'm like all over the place. It was hard enough teaching my son. And I learned a simple thing to do. I just oversimplified the business. And we talked about basic actions you take every day and do it consistently, regardless of the outcome. Now, what I can't fix with everybody is their expectation. Everybody expects to start here in wholesaling. The reality is you're down here under the table.
I can't see on the camera.
And you got to work your way up. And if
you guys showed the story, no, okay, there we go.
But listen, all of you have an expectation here. The reality is you're down here when you start. But a lot of you lie. You go, well, I'm here. I just need a little bit more. No, what you've done in the past has not worked. You have to do a complete reset. And I believe most people quit wholesaling because they were either duped into a false expectation that you're going to get filthy rich by doing this or that. And you didn't realize you actually have to do work in this job. And our own industry's created this. I'm not going to get into that. But if you'll just keep stepping up and get from that F minus and just get to the D minus, the D plus, and work your way through it, that's how wholesaling works. My favorite thing is when I show people the light, they're like, but the craziest thing is you have to have some sort of faith. They have the word, I don't even know the definition between hope and faith, but you have to have a belief that you can do it before you do it. Otherwise, you would never do it. And you guys struggle the most with this part. And I go, you just got to keep taking the actions. It will come. I can't tell you when it's going to come. It's not a religion. It is a business. And if you understand that, you have to take a leap of faith, but you have to do the actions. Now, if you're just going to take the leap of faith and hope and pray, you're going to be wildly disappointed. And I believe that's what a lot of people do.
So faith is a strong belief or trust in something, even without proof, while hope is a feeling or expectation and desire of a future event to come.
So most people are hanging on hope, and hope is not going to get you there alone. Faith goes, hey, I believe in what Rick and Zach are doing. This guy's hung for 23 years and done it. I know it's not going to be easy, but if I stick to it and I do it, eventually it will become, because it's like people tell you, you want to drive a Maserati, you got to go to the Maserati showroom, you got to sit in it. But like the bottom line is, guys, you have to have the faith. And that faith takes a lot of guts to do. The problem is, if you think you're going to put hope and faith together in wholesaling, no. Faith and then your action and your work is what's going to get you to your deal. So you have to reset your expectations and just go, hey, I'm going to work. I'm a blue collar guy and I'm going to make this work regardless of where I came from.
There we go. I mean, also, I will tell you about the genetics thing. Like kids from the Dominican Republic. I went to the Dominican last year. I will tell you the kid whose dad, is coaching him in basketball, and they after practice they go home. They might go to Chili's. They got a nice meal. They get tucked in before bed. They got like all the clean water. The kids from the Dominican, they practice all day so they can get out of that environment.
Yep.
For example, they have rolling power outages. Some conditions are not good. And you look at the best like soccer players of all time, like look at Ronaldo or Messi. They never grew up rich or like in middle class families. And the best athletes, I think of your favorite one is Romero, right? Yoel Romero, right? You know that Cuban guy, massive dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know why he's so good at wrestling in the Olympics? He said on a podcast. He said if I was able to be on the Olympic team, they would give me more food. That was his only motivation.
Yeah.
So like you're going to wonder what will motivate you to become a successful wrestler. It's like, I get more food. It's like, that's way better than, oh, it's just so I can make the team. And so it's not all genetics. It's half genetics, half not genetics, right? But what I could always tell you is you just got to work harder. Like Chapman, like he was stuck in Cuba. If he became on the national team, he could probably travel, then he can escape. Like that's kind of the point here, right? It's all about, it's motivation too. So for athletes, some of it's motivation why they're so good, but just pure numbers or output. The kid in the Dominican Republic that's 12 years old that wants to get out of there, he's going to spend way more time batting than you at your cushy little, with your little coach and all this stuff. That's the truth. All right. And so you just have to learn that it's all about three things: knowledge, motivation, and action. And that's how you can sum it up. Now, it's always funny, right? Have you noticed all these wholesaling coaches, influencers, YouTubers, right? They all have kids that are the same age as me. You know, none of them wholesale. Zero.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
oh, they might. They're not putting up numbers. But the one thing I can tell you is the motivation is just not there. You know, my dad makes a lot of money wholesaling.
I've always believed in it. I've like,
well, the reason
I've bought into it, and if any of my kids want to do it, listen, I'll secretly tell you, I wish my daughter did the business. She took another path, but I want her to be happy. It makes her happy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, this very large. No, I wouldn't say large, but this wholesaling coach, his son, who I know a little about his son, right? He DMs me trying to sell me social media marketing.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And you don't know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay. Say you don't know who I'm talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Perfect. I go, and then I basically DM the guy back. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Say, yeah, so the best social media. I'm like, I can make you millions of dollars selling real estate coaching. I'm like, really? I'm like, then I put, I'm like, well, why don't you do it yourself? Or why didn't you do it for your dad? Or why didn't you just do wholesaling like your dad and make millions? And I won't tell you what else he told me, but you're not, if your dad's making millions of dollars wholesaling and you're a social media marketing coach and you teach social media marketing to make, I don't know how, like, your dad's probably not making millions of dollars, like you say. Just being honest. But that's just how I think in things. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's how my mind works. So the thing is, my dad made a lot of money wholesaling. I started working with them. Then we started making more money. And like, that's kind of the thing. Like I always look at my kids, like my kids in the future. It's like, well, you know, dad makes millions of dollars. So you can either choose to do this or make 50 grand a year. I know teenage boys pretty well because I was one. They always choose to make millions of dollars versus not making a lot of money. And so that's just me. That's the way I think about things. But you know, hey, whatever, right? But guys, get very, very clear on what you need and then just get ready to go. Now, what are the other excuses people tell me about wholesaling? The assignment of contract, it's illegal. No, guys, the assignment of contract is legal in all 50 states.
Period.
So I don't know what else to tell you. Title companies are closing transactions in all 50 states in the United States of America with lawyers. So I don't know where we're at on this. Okay, perfect. Cold calling and texting is legal in all 50 states. So you can cold call, text the DNC list, what I've seen from case law. And I've had lawyers actually, I've posted what lawyers have said. They said, yeah, you're good to go, except for one thing. It is illegal to cold call and text if you have a license.
There you go.
There is clear case law precedent. We all talk about case law. There's clear case law showing if you're a licensed real estate agent, you cannot text or cold call, even if it's for wholesaling, even not for real estate purposes, because you have the ability to make money on the listing. So, you know, I always say it's about intention. Intention is very important. And the intention of only wholesaling can only be done if you don't have a license. It's clearly shown through case law. And so the fun part about it is me and Rick have been saying for forever, never get a real estate license. And everyone cried to me that no, you should be, be all stand up and up and up.
Makes
and
you a professional.
Makes you professional.
Take you more serious.
The most professional real estate investors I know don't have real estate licenses.
Period. End of story. The most successful ones I've ever met never ever had a real estate license. Period.
That's it. And the reason is, number one, nobody wants a broker daddy. And I know that's a funny word I always say, but it's like, you have a broker daddy. That means he is your dad. He tells you what you can or can't do. Could be a she. You do a broker mom.
A lot of she bosses.
Okay.
Just telling you.
But like, yeah, you don't want a she boss telling you or a he boss to tell you what you can or can't do. Guys, I already have a mom. I don't need another one. And I already have a dad. I don't need another one. But like, the thing is, you guys literally have a boss if you have a broker. Just being honest.
The problem with the whole licensing is you're told it cures something. You want to be licensed, be licensed. It ain't going to fix any of your wholesaling. And if anything, it's going to create a bunch of obstacles. It's already proven. And then you can't cold call, you can't text, and then you got to run every form by your broker. And then the question comes up, what about assignability? Do you need assignability? Do you need to share those fees with your broker? I promise you they're coming after them. They're going to try to convince you to do NAR. You should seriously get errors and omissions because now you're liable. And here's how most lawsuits work. You say something stupid, which realtors say every day. It's no different. They're just more on the record because they're licensed. And there's a claim. It goes to your broker. It goes in front of the board. And then they evaluate. And to avoid paying all the lawyers, you have to pay an E&O policy. Basically says you say something stupid, they can go after the insurance. They're all going after the insurance policies. Once you have E&O, like, okay, give us $50,000 and we'll just let it go. And the insurance companies will pay it because it's cheaper than hiring a lawyer to go to court, even if you were right. And so you got all these new things that come around. And guys, let me ask you, how many of you want, like, I'm licensed in real estate on every part of marketing. Your job, once you're licensed, you literally have to tell everybody because that's how a realtor is supposed to operate. Remember, you're going to be programmed to be a realtor. You have to tell everybody, your mom, your dad, your brother. You need to probably go on a YouTube channel and tell everybody. Most of the people I work with, they don't want to work with realtors. So I don't understand what getting your license. Maybe you fix one or two statutes in these small little districts or a state.
But you can do it without a license. And the worst part about it is I always say it's like a frat. So you've been in a frat before. I've had a lot of buddies in frats. Here's the thing about a frat, especially when you're a pledge, but if you're a frat, if the president of the frat goes up to you during class and says, take your shirt off, you're part of the frat, you have to take your shirt off.
You have to. Can't think.
Because those are the rules in the frat. Now, is it legal? Like, does he legally have to take his shirt off?
No.
No, actually, he signed, he pledged the fraternity. He's going to do whatever the president. No, he signed, he has to follow the rules of the frat.
How does secret
is the frat? Here's the thing: is a frat a legal? Is a frat a law enforcement agency? No. So here's the thing about it: if I'm wholesaling, doing my thing, I make $50,000. Somebody complains to me to the real estate board or to NAR. NAR will come to me, or the real estate board says, "Give up your $50,000 assignment fee. You're a realtor." I'll say, "Well, I won't tell you what I would say, but." It would,
guys, there's case law where people's assignments have been taken,
that's what I'm trying to show.
Away.
So if the real estate board tells me that I didn't like how you did an assignment, I would tell you, was it illegal, or do you just not like how I did it? It was legal, but I don't like the way you did it, so give me your $50,000. I would tell them to go eat rocks. Now, if I was a licensed realtor, did I say it right? Realtor. Can I put a little R? This is my little R badge. Okay, I'm gonna have it right here. Okay, here's my little R badge. I'm gonna keep it on me for protection. I made $50,000 on assignment fee, and the real estate board says I didn't like how you made that $50,000. Give me your $50,000. I'll say no. Or, well, you're a licensed realtor. You have to do what we say. And so that's the thing. I am only beholden to law enforcement agencies for what I do. A realtor is beholden to law enforcement agencies and the real estate board. Here's the thing: we already have laws, so as long as they don't commit fraud, I'm pretty much good to go.
Now, keep this in mind with it.
Share about how the $50,000, the assignments can be taken away.
So here's the think of the common sense argument. We deal with a lot of elderly people in our business. I always tell them, you got to treat it just like your mom. Hopefully you treat your mom good. If you don't, get out of wholesaling. But so I'm licensed real estate. I'm licensed in real estate. Doesn't mean I'm a realtor. It just means I'm licensed real estate. Say I have a 68-year-old lady. I need to downsize. I don't need my house. We go over numbers. We go over her entire life story, everything. I tell her, maybe you should consider some representation with the family, which is what you should do. And I said, listen, hey, not to scare you, to put you at ease, I'm licensed in real estate. Not only do I buy houses, I also represent people. I just want to make sure you're okay with that. Now I have all these papers here that you're going to sign.
There you go.
And say, I'm a licensed in real estate. They go through it. You go through whatever, your 10-minute spiel. Now you go back and say, she goes, no, you're okay buying the house. You buy the house. Say a month or two comes back later, and lady says, I'm confused. I thought you listed the house. I didn't know you bought it. What do you think's going to happen on the back? I don't care what your paperwork says. You created the situation. You went and got the license because you thought it was like most people get a license. I found out. I just listen to you guys. Number one, you do it because you follow somebody and you just decide, because they do it, I need to do it. There's two things I found on people who promote getting the license in real estate. They're licensed themselves and they kind of have an agenda. Like everyone should be like me. It's a personal bias, right?
A vegan's going to tell you to be a vegan.
Right. And then number two, they usually have something to sell you along with it. And I've seen those two are consistent across the board. Don't believe me. You go out and test it. Just test those two questions right there. So the problem is if I get licensed, because I was told there's protection, I go to a homeowner, I'm possibly going to list their house or I'm going to buy it, and say they're over the age of 65. Let me ask you, do you think that opens up an entire new can of worms for you? It's open. I get confused. Right. I'm 55. I get confused all the time. I believe you're better off going in as either a licensed real estate agent, realtor, and do that side, or you're just a professional home buyer or you're a new wholesaler and you say, hey, listen, I'm going to buy your house. I'm going to make a profit, but I'm going to solve a problem. I am going to buy it and I might possibly sell it to one of my partners. I just want to make sure you're okay with that. That's it. Either you're on this side or you're on that. You want to be on both? I don't understand it. I believe you actually create more confusion in our business. Well, but look at all the paperwork, all the disclosures I had them sign. I go, the reason they called you is because they didn't want to go through a 38-page listing through a realtor.
You can't explain about your friend. It's not just your friend.
So anyways, I had someone that this happened to, and it's very similar scenario.
It's not on the news because it's all behind
closed doors. Because nobody wants to do it. And then they basically were confused. They made a very large assignment fee, disclosed everything, so all the paperwork.
What was roughly the assignment fee?
I want to say it was
$90,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they got in front of the board. The family complained or something. It was they went with elder law, which basically, I don't care what paperwork you have signed. It's what the owner thought you were representing. Now,
it's legally allowed. You can. What he did was all legal, 100% legal.
Yeah.
You cannot.
He did everything perfectly.
You couldn't civilly sue this guy to get your 90 grand back.
Yeah. So the question was, did he come in as a licensed real estate person trying to list or help them sell the house, or was he trying to buy the house? And then the question came down to, as a licensed real estate person, is your responsibility to the homeowner fiduciary or to your personal LLC that's buying the company? The board sat down and said, we believe you misrepresented it. You confused her, even though you did all the paperwork, and you are only entitled to the commission on that. And they unwound the entire thing. And like, it's already set, guys. It's got one, if your seller is confused, and people get confused even when it's not your fault. Why are we confusing people? Everybody thinks it's going to protect them. I think you confuse the heck out of people, because what if you're going to buy it and then you switch and then you want to list it? Wait a minute, which are you? And like, I get it. I know why sometimes people have dual purpose. It's it. You want to make a little side income. I'm telling you, the side income you make with a real estate license for being a realtor will destroy your wholesaling business. You want to get paid $3,000? Go for it. Most realtors are broke. 70% of realtors don't even do a deal. Listen, a monkey could pass that realtor's test. That's just brutally honest. The test is, there's 1.5 million realtors and 70% of them don't do any business. Why do you think that is? It's a huge money grab. So listen, if you want to be a wholesaler, be very clear and direct what you do. Be full disclosure. Understand if someone's in distress on a property, understand what your state statutes are. Like in the state of Florida, you have 3 days right of rescission signing a contract when you're in any type of distress situation. You have to honor it. I go further. If I'm under contract 3 or 4 months with you and you want out in the end and I can't satisfy your answer, just move on.
We've always said that for
you can't do it. Like you're not, listen, if you enforce it, there's going to be enforcement coming to you. Now, it might not be a month or two. It might be a year or two, but I promise you it's coming. If you do this over and over again, you're going to get called out. There's laws to protect people. But what I'm saying is the bottom line is the license creates confusion and you're creating the confusion. You're better off going in as a wholesaler. And honestly, if you want to list it, refer your friend over, get a referral fee and move on with your life.
Okay. We'll talk about referral fee a little later. You can go that way.
Marketing fee.
Yeah. Okay. We got, so, but one thing I will tell you, well, people really get up, they get a little crazy. So the one thing I'll tell everyone is don't become a licensed realtor. That's the worst thing you can do because you can't call or text. You will lose a lot of money.
I agree.
Now, it's been a thing in this wholesaling industry to tell you to be licensed, and that's the only way you can do deals. Guys, that's the opposite. And case law has now proven to me and Rick that, yeah, we're right. The only way you can call or text legally, if they're on the DNC list, which you won't know if you're cold calling a Zillow, Forcibone, or anything like that, is by not being licensed. So unfortunately, me and Rick are right again. Oops. So, that's all I can tell you. And for everyone telling me that wholesaling is illegal, all these things, Tennessee just legalized wholesaling real estate, by the way. I'm actually very excited to share that. Yay. So a lot of people say, wholesaling's going to get banned in Tennessee. I just got that. I read the law. I said, oh, they legalized wholesaling. Everyone's like, what does that mean?
Right? They're so used to the video title saying wholesaling is banned, you're going to jail for wholesaling.
Oh, yeah.
We just assume any legislation is going to be negative against wholesaling.
Let me explain this. And so what Tennessee's basically doing here, which I'm going to share with you really quick, is Tennessee said, okay, so this wholesaling thing, it is completely good. It's completely legal. But we just want to make sure that if you do, they basically said, assignment of contract is all good. Wholesaling is legal. But if you are going to do it, you just got to put this in your contract. That's it. And honestly, I'm not a supporter of this, but I am just supporting of this as basically just something codified in the law now, showing that wholesaling without a license is legal. I do like this to a point that it shows that. But basically, if you really want to get in the nitty gritty of it, it just passed on the floor. I was waiting for it to pass to really talk about it, but here is the text. So we'll pop up the text and just read it really quick because this is brand new. And obviously, I'm the only guy that shares this stuff.
I'm sure there'll be a video coming out about how dangerous it is in Tennessee.
Basically, it's basically talking about equitable interest, all these things, right? Basically, if you're engaging in wholesaling real property, basically you have to disclose the following in writing. A potential purchaser or assignee, the nature of the buyer's equitable interest. Yeah, you should let the buyer know. The seller, the buyer's intent to market its equitable interest prior to the execution of the contract with the effective date of any assignment of the buyer's interest. At least 3 business days. Disclosure written in bold in large. An action for violation of this part for 2 years. And the party applies for transactions involving real property. Blah, 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 blah. That's pretty much it. So now the one thing is if after this law gets passed, if they catch you 2 years after not putting disclosure in the contract, they can go after you. But looks like it's not really anything too bad on the going after, but all you have to do is write a disclosure. I don't think that's bad. I'd be very upset if they said something like, oh, you have to write how much you're making. Like I've seen people say, oh, you have to, if you're making 50 grand, you have to go to the seller and say, is it okay if you make 50 grand? Yeah. They said, no, you're chill, bro. They said, just make sure the seller knows that you're going to market it or you possibly could market it and let the buyer know. It's like, I think that's honestly, I'm okay with it. And so wholesaling's just getting bigger. And yes, basically lawmakers are looking into it. And all of them are saying, no, we're okay with this because the people giving me campaign contributions, the home builders, and all these massive multi-billion-dollar corporations which are doing assignment of contracts. Not a lot of people know there's billion-dollar publicly traded companies like D.R. Horton and stuff that are building. They assign contracts all day.
Well, so banks, insurance companies do it all day long.
So they want it legal, right? And so they just basically legalize. And so Tennessee just legalized wholesaling. Woohoo!
There you go.
Because you contract law is contract law, right? So that's a big one in Tennessee. So it's pretty dang cool. I'm expecting everyone to think Tennessee is now illegal and they're all going to cry and run away. I think it's kind of funny. But yeah, we just got to understand, guys, calling, texting is completely legal. It's great. You're good to go. Now, the one thing I am telling you, okay, is, everyone tells, oh, you got to go, be in a community for wholesaling. I'll give you a really good hot take, even though as a guy that runs I have the largest, by the way, this is crazy. Okay. I have the largest wholesaling community in the entire country, us, right? Wholesaling.com. Almost 25,000 people in it. There's not one community that's 25,000 people like ours. Like actual course community stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
We also have the largest wholesaling Facebook group, but I won't get into that. A community is not a requirement for success. I've heard people say this now. Guys, were you a part of a community when you made your first $1 million wholesaling?
As part of the gang community.
No, I was not in a community. You don't need to be in a community to make $1 million wholesaling. Now, a community will help you. You can definitely do great with it. But I think this narrative that you have to be in a community is really stupid. And everyone that says that has a community to sell you. And I don't really make any more money or less money if you join my community or not. So I get more JV deals. But the thing is, you're told you have to go buy to be in a community to become. You don't need to, guys. You got to remember, there's not one wholesaling success. There's not a massive wholesaling success story person who's had 5 years in the game that they never had a community starting out and they made $1 million. Every single person in wholesaling pretty much didn't have a community when they made their first $1 million. And so the narrative that you have to be in one's kind of insane to me. Because I was just grinding. You're just grinding too.
You just the reality is you kind of create your own community. And then if you find a community that supports you and I just don't know why you would have to buy into a community. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't feel right. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So just be careful there, guys. I'm just telling you right now, I would join ours, but just go through the course, you'd be good to go. Now, the thing about overthinking becoming rich and successful here is, the riches are truly in the niches in wholesaling. And what I mean by this is, if you're overthinking, you want to get more deals than you can even handle. I think there's 3 steps you should get started into wholesaling when looking at getting deals. I'm calling it tiers. So really 3 tiers here. So tier 1, if you're broke, you're overthinking, just do the free strategies we have. That's it.
That's it.
Guys.
You don't really have any other options.
You have no option. And I'm not gonna get into this, but a lot of people tell you that you need to borrow money to have success. So a lot of people sell a wholesaling course. It's $5,000. Go put it on a credit card when you have no money. That's how you get your foot in the door. I've actually heard people say, if you have no money, put $5,000 on a credit card for marketing. Well, guys, yeah, I don't believe in that. And if you have no money, do the free strategies. And then make $15,000 on an assignment and then use that money for the marketing. I don't believe in borrowing money for marketing. I don't think you've ever said that.
No.
It's a terrible idea.
Just, guys, listen, go watch Shark Tank. A good fundamental business course. And they tell everybody goes and they go like this. How much have you put in the business? Well, I mortgaged my home. I maxed out the credit cards. And yeah, I'm about $1.8 million in debt. Well, show us your sales. You got to have sales. We're still working on it. We're still working on it. And then you got a guy comes in a train wreck, his shirt's ripped out. And they're like, oh crap, what's he selling? And the guy goes, they go, what do you got in the company? He goes, just my time and hustle. Go, what are your sales? I sold 800,000 in the last 6 months. I'm trying to figure this out. That's the guy you want to work with. Do you understand? You cannot buy your way through success. Wholesaling, for some reason, honestly, the more money you put into it up front, usually the greater your failure rate. Why? Because you think it's going to be super easy. Someone told you can buy your way into it. Give me a guy or gal that can go out and find a deal using the free methods. I mean, just incredible resourcefulness. And they go through it time and after, and they get up to like 3 to 5 deals. Did you show that person how to use marketing money? They're deadly. But here's the big play on you guys. A lot of you guys are told, oh, if you just invest 5 or 10 grand into this marketing and that, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to talk to people. You have no idea how to pull the right list. That's why we go with the government list. Number one, they work. They got me started. They got him started, and they still work in our business today. I know it's weird, but we teach you things that actually work in this business. And guys, what do you think's really changed in wholesaling? Do you think these people have these magic ways to get you deals? They transfer all the risk from them to you.
It's like giving steroids to a guy that
doesn't work
once a week.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it'd be better if you just worked out 5 times a week, didn't take this, or like you're working out, you're getting big, then give you the steroids, I guess. But here's the thing, guys, just do the free methods. And we just launched a brand new thing too. We made it even easier. So the hardest part about the free methods, I've always been told this. There's one main issue with the free part of wholesaling. Guys, comment below because we're live. Where's the hardest part about wholesaling for free when you have no money? Where's the hardest part? I know what it is by far. Because when you're broke, you don't have many options. Number one, you can cold call, you can text, you can do digital bandit signs, you can JV. There's a lot of good options, right?
Yeah.
But where's the hardest part about when you have no money in wholesaling? The hardest part, right? Is it the calling? No, because you have Google Voice. Is it pulling a list? No, because you just go to freewholesaling.com and then you get a government list right there, or spreadsheet with all the government lists. It's the skip tracing. I'll be honest with you. The hardest part when you have no money is the skip tracing. Painful. Now, a lot of people don't know what I mean. Okay, so let's play a little game. Okay, you go to freewholesaling.com. So this is my free wholesaling course and community. Should I say the community? Oh, people say it like that. I don't know why. Okay, here's freewholesaling.com. Almost 25,000 people. Go to classroom. You go to marketing. Go down to government list. Here's my spreadsheet. Let's click this one right here. There we go. And the cool part about the spreadsheet is anyone can go get government lists now absolutely for free. But here's the main issue with it, okay? I'll be straight up with you. Okay, so where do you want to pull a government list? Let's look. Do you want to get the code violations in Columbus, Ohio?
Sure.
It's pretty good. Why don't we do the probates in, here's literally the probates in Detroit, right? Okay, cool. We pull the probates in Detroit. Let's say there's 1,000. For me to go skip trace that list of 1,000, I would have to go to cyberbackgroundchecks.com, True People Search, and I have to copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. It would take me about 40 hours of work just to skip trace 1,000 leads.
Yep.
Think about that for a second. 40 hours to skip trace it. Now, what I did was we created X leads, and for $97 a month on the monthly plan, you can get 15,000 skips. But that was cool. But Zach, I have no money. And so what me and Rick decided to do was we brought this back because we thought the industry needed it. But we're giving away 1,000 free skip traces for free at xleads.com. So whatever excuse you have when you have no money is gone now. Like legitimately, you can you cover your ears for a second? Cover
your muffs.
There we go. You can literally go to X Leads, sign up for the free trial, get 1,000 skips, then cancel it. Okay, like I don't care. You
stop that. That's expensive.
I know, but like I'm not even joking. Like just you can go to X Leads, get 1,000 skips. It's just my gift to you. I'm trying to give away I want to give out $1 million of skip tracing this month. Actually, I think
that'll be easy.
We'll hit that in a couple weeks. So number one, I'm trying to put a lot of these software companies out of business, to be honest with you. But also number two is I want the person who has no money to have an opportunity. And it's all about opportunities sometimes. And I think it's a good one. But legit, if you have no money at all, just go to X Leads, get 1,000 free skips. We're announcing it right now. You have a 7-day free trial to X Leads. You can do e-signing for 7 days for free. And then from there, you're probably out the trial. So you can find somebody who has X Leads. They'll probably give you 1,000 free skips. People in the X-Men literally have 60,000 skip traces a month.
That's nice.
And I know people in X leads, and I don't know if we should allow this. We should actually probably talk about this right now. There's someone that says, hey, like, I'll be honest with you, there's people in the Discord. This guy said it yesterday. He said, yeah, I have 40,000 skips remaining and my month ends tomorrow. So I need to get 40,000 skips out. Who has some lists for me? And no joke, if you go in the Discord, you'll find people in the X-Men like, I have 50. So the skips reset every month.
Yeah.
They don't compound. Good. But that means like I have to get 40,000 skips out or it resets tomorrow. And people just do that too. So I just go Discord, find some of those X leads. But the thing is, what else do you want? You can cold call, text. You can literally pull lists inside of X. You get an AI list for free. You can pull 1,000 of the AI list, 600 plus. It's insane.
Nuts.
So yeah, that I'm just telling you right now. I feel like I'm selling this. Like I feel like I'm like.
You're not. You're giving it away for free.
I'm losing a lot of money on this.
The idea is that you guys listen. If you see the value there, you can pull your list. He hasn't mentioned it, but you get the Ninja Go High Level mode. It's
Go High Level mode.
Go High Level.
So Ninja mode is built on Go High Level, and that's what we give out for you.
Yeah, we actually tell you the truth on it. And guys, the idea is like you could use skip tracing now as a tactical marketing advantage for you. We're the only company I know that like gives you enough room to go out and have people even, hey, if somebody wants to prove themselves, give them 500 leads, give them 1,000 leads, tell them to skip trace it. And tell them to call you. When you get one, you'll partner up with them in JV.
Let me ask a question. Is there, I'm actually curious because we have over 250 people live watching this. Is there one software?
That by two.
Huh?
Nothing. It's a joke.
Oh yeah. You're supposed to say, there's 5 million people watching live.
500,000 watching. Like, I
know, whatever. We have like 50 on TikTok and Instagram and we got like okay. So we got 290. Okay. Is there one software? I'm legitimately curious. Is there one software in the wholesaling game that gives out free skip trace, 1,000 free skip traces on the free trial? There's ones that have free unlimited skip tracing, but are there ones that will give you it for free during the trial?
No.
Is there one that is free unlimited skip tracing under $100 a month? No.
No.
Is there one that has free e-signing?
No.
No. And the best part is you can also use our Driving for Dollars app for 7 days absolutely for free. And so me and Rick, we didn't want to create X leads. I'll be honest with you. I didn't want to make X leads. You definitely didn't want it.
I didn't. I really didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to hire 30 people on staff and have run development meetings every morning. I don't want to do any of this stuff. I'd rather just have an affiliate link or whatever and just like, but nobody had the balls to go out here and give the people what they wanted, which is what they wanted e-signing included on the software. It's they all wanted a $50 a month upgrade. Nobody wanted to give free skip traces to the people in the trials. Nobody wanted to make it for under $100 a month. Nobody wanted any of these things. Nobody wanted cheap dialer. They didn't want free texting. They didn't want to do any of this stuff. And me and Rick are the only ones with the balls to actually go out here and give it to you absolutely for free. So if you're ready to go and get 1,000 free skips, go to X Leads. So if you have no money, I'm telling everyone, it's crazy. I don't understand it. Tara says, I was told on Discord today to avoid X Leads and to use PPL. I don't even know who you're talking to.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I don't even know who you're talking to.
Got a huge check.
I mean, Tara, if you go to the largest wholesaling Discord, which is zachdiscord.com.
Yeah.
I don't know what little 500 member
Tara,
Discord you're in.
We'd be curious.
But here's the problem with PPL. PPL has the lowest return on ad spend I've seen on anything. No joke. You have to spend, no joke, $9,000 to get a contract.
On average.
A contract. That means if you have 1 out of 2 contracts in virtual wholesaling that go out, you're spending $18,000 to get it. So you have to make 18 grand on the deal to break even. And here's the thing, you're being told because they have an affiliate link. And guys, I'll be honest with you. I make money when you sign up for X Leads. So maybe say that Zach is biased. But you know what I'm not biased on? If you go to the clerk of the court, pull the probate list, go to cyber background checks, cold call, get it locked up, find a buyer on Facebook, which we teach, and you make a $30,000 assignment fee, I don't get a dime. I don't make any money doing that.
Feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the PPL thing is like, You have to spend $9,000 a contract. 1 out of 2 contracts fall through. So you have to spend 18 grand. We had a guy in X Leads. He's doing really well. He bought 90 leads. 90 leads. He spent over, I think, 150 grand on PPL leads, and he didn't get one deal. No, he got one deal, 18 grand, and then he spent 200 grand. He lost it all. And the funny part is I had another guy. You ready for this? He was on one of my calls. He closed 72 deals doing off-market, direct to seller, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he dropped 100 grand on PPL leads, didn't close one lead. He sucks at closing. No, homeboy closed 72 deals before this. Couldn't get one, spending 100 grand on PPL. Now he's coming back and he needs help, right? But guys, I think PPL is a very bad strategy. I'll be honest with you. That's just me. Guys, PPL has gotten so expensive that the PPL companies can't afford to do the good leads. The good PPL leads were SEO and PPC. They don't do it anymore. You know what PPL companies do now? Are you ready?
Yeah.
They pull a list. They skip trace the list. They call the list. They get a lead for about $15 a lead with VAs. And then they sell you the lead for $400.
Guys, listen.
No,
PPL works for some people. The problem is a beginner strategy. It's horrible. I always tell you the reason why you came into wholesaling was to minimize your risk and maximize your reward. You do the complete opposite in PPL, in my opinion. It's the reason I don't do these strategies. You know how many companies come to me and Zach wanting us to push this stuff? Like they're pushing it so hard. I'm like, why are you pushing it so hard? And the reality is you are paying market price. You're always going to have to bid based on demand. And at the rate of everybody trying to push people in PPL, it just gets to the point you have to look at all marketing and understand. I said marketing, if you can master marketing, you will dominate in wholesaling. If you don't understand what your return on investment is, you will be destroyed in this business. And PPL, honestly, they pretty much, in my opinion, priced themselves out. They're doing all these little tricks.
Well, what they're doing is they can't afford to do the SEO or PPC because the keyword of sell my house fast is it's cooked. So a lot of them are just removing that. They're just calling and texting. And they're just doing what we're doing.
And keep in mind, you have to, in my opinion, if you do people, you have to do it virtually because you can't target like your own backyard market. You can't even target your own state. You have to go so general. Do I want to deal from like the Dakotas and stuff like that? I'm just saying you have very little control, and the type of people you're getting on this list, they want massive speed in minutes, and they just want a number. They do. Most of the stuff me and Zach teach, I'll be the first to tell you, will not work in PPL. Why? Because they just want a cash buyer. That's it. They don't want anything else.
They spend $1,000 on PPL leads in the day. $1,000 a day is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they call the lead, says, I wasn't looking to sell. They try to get a refund. We can't give you a refund.
And listen, the PPL companies are desperate for leads, and then they have to balance the cost of SEO on it. And like, listen, let's face it. You fill out a form, you're a hot lead. They're going to sell it for $200 to $400.
You know, that's my favorite one.
And it's like, what? Are there some motivated? I'm sure there is. But the reality is to build an entire business as a newbie wholesaler. And most people that are established in the business that don't sell those programs, like, show me your return on investment. Show me how many leads you bought. Show me the price you bought, and show me how many deals you actually successfully closed. And the problem is, if you did the ROI, if you're only going to make a 10 to 15, maybe 20% return, those are not good numbers, in my opinion. It's my opinion, but that's it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you. So I used to talk a lot And we got hacked for a second.
Okay, listen, if I thought it was a viable option, I would do it with you. It's just, I don't believe the return on investment there is in the long run. And it's just not my opinion. Go across the entire country. Most people do not build an entire business on PPL.
Every single time, we do a stream, we talk smack about something, it always gets booted off. Have you ever noticed that?
It's very interesting.
Whatever. Yeah. But basically, where I said I was talking a lot of snot about PPL, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm on my, you can't stop this. What I used to do is when people used to write "Sell My House Fast, Houston," what they do is they sign 5 different forms, and then you'd buy a PPL lead, and then unfortunately, the lead was like, "You're the 6th guy to call me," because they filled in 7 forms and you paid $500 for the lead. It was the worst thing ever, right? It's like those guys, like sell your car.
Yeah.
If you fill in that form, someone calls you in 5 minutes or like 2 minutes. Because you filled in 7 different ones, right? It's crazy. But now I can't even talk snot about them anymore. You know why? They're not even doing it. They're just calling and texting like us.
Yeah, cold calling.
And so that's the craziest part. And I'm not going to tell you there's certain PPL companies that reach out to X leads for better data. But I won't get into that. They can't publicly say that. But hey.
Listen, if we thought it was a viable choice, I've been in this business 23 years.
I'm going to try the Wi-Fi again. So this might... There we go. Okay, we're all good. There we go.
Okay.
We're back on. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. And so yeah, I'm done talking about PPL, guys. It's just a bad strategy. I've never mentioned it, but some guys get tricked into doing it. It's insane to me. But yeah, that's all I could say on that end. All right, but no, just do X leads. You'll be good to go. So that's the first tier, free. Government list, we teach how to pull. We actually show you how to pull the government list completely for free in wholesaling.com. We also will show you how to get, FSBOs and Zillow, right? There's so many ways to get deals. You can pull list on X leads, right, for free. So all these different tiers. If you have no money, do the free options. We have the free options for wholesaling.com. Next, tier number 2. Also, in wholesaling.com, I have my 26-page PDF on the wholesale real estate. We're about to update it. I'm rewriting it right now as we speak. There's 34 ways to get a deal without any money. 34.
Got it.
That's crazy. 34 ways. You can do a different way every single day for a month, and you still have new things to do. That's how many ways there are to get a deal without any money. Now, tier 2, once you get your assignment deal, or if you're strapped for time. So for example, if you're like Rick and you had a full-time job and kids and you only had 10 hours and you had a lot of money, not a lot of money, but like, you're making good money. You could pour, and I'm not telling you a lot, like $150 a month in marketing. $100 for X leads and $50 for texting on Ninja Mode. That's you only need 10 hours to do that, right? Yep. You can use a paid system. When I say paid system, I'm not telling you $6,000 a month. I'm not telling you $1,000. I'm telling you $150 a month. Everyone tells you $150 a month is just for the CRM for most people. That's the CRM and the marketing, but I wouldn't even go there. Use a paid system, X leads, paid leads. Paid system, use X leads. And then once you start getting more deals, I think you could scale. You can get VAs, you can get a higher level like type of system. You can start sending like 90,000 texts out a month, just go crazy. But I would tell you is you should start with free, then get some deals, and then you start getting X leads, getting some other systems. Now, you can start at tier 2 if you want to put less time in this business and get more outputs, but only if you're willing to spend money on marketing. It is not required. You definitely do not need it. But if you're somebody that doesn't want to, if you're somebody who doesn't have 50, 60 hours, I truly believe if you have no money, you should be able to put at minimum 50 to 60 hours. If you can't do that, there are some people that can't. Just start at tier 2. It's definitely up to you, but it's the only affordable option to really do it. So that's what I tell you to do. 3 systems: free, paid, then scale. Do not skip these steps unless you can skip 2 if you want to go nuts. Only if you're willing to do it. But really, like, stop overthinking this. It drives me crazy. Okay, this is the real talk in the wholesaling business with no agenda that no one wants to tell you. Tara says, I was told you need to pay for a mentor. Tara, I don't know who you're talking to.
It does. So
like, it's insane to me.
Someone's just, they're trying to get in your back pocket. It's just the truth. They're trying to make a living. I don't even fault them for it, but you have options. Like if I told you here's the best part is find out who the mentor is going to be, how much time they're going to spend with you. And I'm just telling you, a one-on-one mentor in wholesaling, it's a disaster. 95% failure ratio. You don't believe me? Look at the numbers. It's not my numbers, it's the industry numbers. So I would start out just go over to freewholesaling.com. And then so if somebody wants to recruit you and join it, say, listen, can I come in your course and take a look at it? Let me ask you this. If me and Zach are willing to throw our entire course out there to the entire public, and by the way, everybody looks at it, everybody, I think that should be the standard. Why not give you a 30-day crack at it to look over the material to make sure what they're marketing and representing in is actually what they say it is? And if they don't do it, take the signal right off the bat. And by the way, if you have a salesperson selling you, you don't need to know anymore. Remember, that person's probably getting a 15 to 20% of cut, whatever you stroke down. And then once you get in there, you're all excited, and then all hell's going to break loose.
20% commission.
That's it, because it's nothing more than a sales funnel. And
I told you there's this podcast of a guy that teaches coaching for wholesaling.
I know.
And then he interviews people and they just reveal their whole business. Yeah, I pay my sales guy 20% commission.
Yeah.
It's insane.
They all do it. And so the thing is, they push them really hard. Now, they want them to have over 50% close ratio, which is why the person's pursuing you so hard. Listen, if Tony Robbins can sell all his products and you just click a link online, like, the harder somebody sells you, sometimes the more concerned you have to be. And so find out what wholesaling is about. Make sure it's a fit. I don't believe one-on-one mentoring works. You can find a community. There's plenty of free communities we offer. Go find one on your own and go to freewholesaling.com and then make your decision from there. I would love to see you get your first deal. No matter who you hire or how you go out, you're going to have to do the work. And a lot of people think when they hire a mentor, that part goes away. It actually is more magnified because you put your guard down and you think everything's going to be done for you. It's the complete opposite. And what if they're wrong? Oh my God. And that's what you got to be concerned. So just, guys, listen, we talk about motivated sellers. When someone pursues you heavily to have you buy something and thinks it's going to fix, you look a little bit deeper in that and go, is it going to fix their problem or is it going to fix my problem? You're still going to go through the journey of wholesaling one way or the other. Freewholesaling.com is the easiest way. It's transparent. You know exactly what you're getting. There's no hidden fees, and it has more success than any other course. Why? We set the expectation right up front. If I thought selling you a huge course would solve every wholesaler's problem, I would do that. But 95% of you have showed us otherwise. So we need to change the industry. That's why we did freewholesaling.com. People said, you can't do it. It'll never work. You know how that story is written. And then we tried to work with all the software companies to create wholesale software. They go away, leave us alone. Don't tell us what to do. We're just going to keep raising prices. Hey, are you okay if we open a software company? You'll never do it. You have no idea what it takes.
Oh, yeah,
Watch me.
I was told that too.
And that's it. And if you guys think we're passive about it, we're all in. It's everything we do, everything we teach, every list we pull,
well, I moved all
every
of our
skip trace we do,
all of our systems to
all our systems on
so
it.
I need to make it good.
We are all in. I'm 55. He's 25. You do the math. Nobody else in the wholesale space has software that's run by wholesalers. They're all run by tech guys. They're run by college graduates.
I graduated college.
So did I, but
college
it doesn't matter. It didn't do me any good. Wholesaling's what served me the best, and that's how I serve back to you.
You're insulting yourself.
I am.
Oh my God.
I wish I never went to college. How's that?
Oh Lord.
So I didn't learn anything other. I learned bad habits. I'll tell you that.
But
I can't insult myself. I'm old.
The one thing I'll tell everyone is just go to freewholesaling.com, learn how to wholesale. You're good to go. Hattie, thanks for $10. I'm ready. That will let me pay for 100 skip traces.
All right.
That's great.
Now
that's $100 worth of skip tracing, which means if I'm getting 1,000 per person, that's not going to help me, is it?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay.
Okay. Hey, that'll go somewhere. I'm ready to start 0 to hero. Where do I start with a low budget? I think we just told you how to do that. I just go to X's, get a 7-day free trial, thousands free skips, get to work. Winston said, just closed a deal in South Carolina, so assignments are still legal. I'm closing deals in South Carolina too.
That's it. Yeah.
So I guess me and Winston are going to be cellmates. And
Don't worry, there's people that want to go out.
The
and
lawyers are
target you
doing it.
guys.
They said, you're good to go. I said, all right, roger that. It's my lawyer.
That's it.
Curtis said, real quick, Zach, your Discord is the one with the One Piece things on it, right? So someone named Zach messaged me. So yes, if you watch me on Discord, I have the Nitro, which is so if you click on my profile on Discord, there's a big One Piece flag flying because I pay $10 a month for the Discord premium or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
A scammer is not going to pay $10 a month for the Discord premium.
God, no.
No. So yeah, come on. Guys, I'll never ask you for money. Guys, I don't even run ads on X Leads. I don't run ads on this YouTube channel. I can't hire enough customer support agents to handle the increase of people we get every single month in X Leads.
Yeah.
I'm not running ads to bring more people in there. Okay.
Nope.
So yeah, that's it, guys. So if you want to learn wholesale real estate for free, join our free real estate wholesaling community and course, freewholesaling.com. But you don't even need that. Just get to work. Start doing deals. I would go to X Leads, get 1,000 free skips. Again, that's the letter X leads.com. And like always, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.
Have a blessed one.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.